Good evening, everyone. So excited to be here with you this evening. Man, got a lot of people over here on YouTube. Hey, YouTube. And hello, Facebook. Excited to have you guys join me tonight for a topic that I think you guys have been saying it every week. It's been a great topic, and we've gone deep every week. This one, I'll be real honest with you, is a little intimidating just because it's so big. It's so much. And how do you cover everything, within 45 minutes, to an hour? That's a lot harder to do than when you've got a topic like Tuesday, which is all about life and prosperity and building and investments. Man, you're just giving information. You're going down the list. So you can really do that in 30, 35 minutes. But when you're bringing something that is a very serious topic, it's something you have to bring, and you have to bring it right. And so I just want to kind of lift that up, and the fact of me bringing it, being able to go down every single thing I have. As those of you that know me, if there's something important, I'll look at my notes and make sure that every single thing I got, that I am bringing it. And so good evening to you guys. Again, welcome YouTube, welcome Facebook. Want to just do a couple of shout outs. And hey, sis, so excited that you're on and there's sunshine in the house. Also, my girl, Michelle, man, y'all don't understand. She's the one who takes care of my do with Michelle's hair closet. Oh my goodness, so excited to have you on. And man, there's so many people over here on YouTube. Oh man, YouTube, you got to do a shout out for me. You got to say who you are and where you're from and what city or country you're from. Hello, Jacqueline. Hey, so excited, sis, that you're on as well. Good evening to you. So man, we got a lot going on right now. And so with that, you guys, I kind of want to just dive in. Hey, Miss Diaz, so excited. Lady A, that you're in the house as well. Hey, Shannon, want to make sure to do some welcome and shout outs since we've got people in both places. This is going to be a good topic. This is going to be something that I know, like I said, and I'm going to repeat it again, that if I do it right, I believe that a lot of you guys are going to be like, man, this is the one that I needed to log on to live, not just listen to it later. And so our topic tonight, and as you can tell, I'm diving straight in, is called the adversary. Hey, Savannah. Hello, beautiful. So excited you're here. Hey, Latrice. Again, you log back on again over here. I absolutely love it. Hey, Rosa. Hey, Shannon. So excited that you guys are here. Man, just love it, love it, love it. And so let's dive in, you guys. I'm going to put my other glasses on. I had my husband and then I had my daughter's boyfriend both tell me, hey, your other glasses looked great. But when you looked up, because we got lighting everywhere, it disconnected, from me to you. So I got my other ones that I really like. I've got these in several colors just because I want to make sure that I see everything. And I've got the iPad right here. And so let me dive into a couple of quotes here when it comes to the adversary. The first one that I want to bring is by the guru himself, Tony Robbins. I'm really excited to know that a lot of the things that I've got on my plate that my boss has told me to bring, that lo and behold, as I'm getting notification because he's somebody that I follow, you'll be amazed that he's bringing the exact same thing, but in his way, with his words. And I cannot tell you what that does for me, having Tony be getting the same thing that you're getting to bring. It just can't get any better than that. And so I loved that, lo and behold, with the couple of episodes we've got coming up, happens to be one of his latest write-ups with every single one. And he talks about how to battle your adversary, how to battle, some of the things that truly we have to battle, which is called adversity. I love this quote. When it comes to adversity, which is our adversary, it is meant to be something there deliberately so that we grow. And if we do not face and rise up to the challenge, that means we are not growing. And if we are not growing, we are dying. And that's Tony Robbins. Another person, Edwin Burke, that I absolutely was reading about him. I got to dig his background story. Doesn't mean I'm all about everything he was about, but boy, was he a person to go hard and challenge people in India, some of the governors and leaders as to how they were treating people in India. And he was a loudmouth. He was somebody who went hard. He was someone who stood against adversity in order to fight for what was right. And I love this because he talks about the adversity that he experienced way back in the day. I think he died in 1789, I think it was. But he was talking about how his whole life was filled with adversity. When you decide to stand up for what you believe, when you decide to stand in who you are, and you decide to speak out, especially even to go against life or to fight against life or to fight for what you want, you are battling the opponent, adversity. And he says, he who wrestles with adversity wrestles with the thing that strengthens our nerves. I like that. And sharpens our skills. He is basically saying when we face adversity, it is a necessary piece that is the thing that will sharpen our nerves. Now, I don't know about you, it's our nerves that when we're nervous, okay, when we have something that really just upsets us, a lot of us just struggle and shut down. And so I think it's interesting that the first thing he says it will do is strengthen our nerves, where we get upset and we just can't handle the situation. And then he says it sharpens our skills. Woo, I like that one a lot. Okay, I like that one a lot. And then I go on to a discussion that me and my brother Byron were having just a couple of nights ago because he was calling me about something different. And then lo and behold, we laughed because we were being tricked to get on the phone because we backed into the topic that he didn't even know I was bringing tonight. And we were discussing, he says, you know, sis, adversity is the thing that is necessary. It is a part of life because it's like a muscle. Adversity will help us work our muscle so that we don't lose it. It doesn't become weak. And we have that ability to be strong and be able to lift and endure more. And so he says, so if we don't stand up to adversity, which is the thing that was created specifically to work our butts off, to get us to grow, well, then like a muscle, he says, if you don't use it and grow it, you lose it. Man, you ever want to get in a conversation for hours and just listen to two people go back and forth for hours? It's me and my brother Byron. We can do that. And Quint, bless his heart, he'll start off and fall asleep after the first 30 minutes because me and Byron are going. And man, that was just day before yesterday. And then I love this quote, and it was from an anonymous person when it came to the adversary, which is adversity. He says, you have to break down and be challenged by something that can break you down in order for you to break up and break through. Come on. God, we just talked about break up last week. To break up with something that you're holding on to, he's saying, in order to break through. Man, there goes those chills, y'all. When my daughter and my executive producer says that there's a spot that I get to, and then all of a sudden I just go hard. Now, if I'm getting there early, that's rare. And so I love that. Now, as we dive in more, I want to just, again, I want you to hang with me. And for some of you who have pen and paper, I definitely want you to write this down, because if I do it right, third time I'm saying it, we're going to do something tonight, okay? There are 6 kinds of challengers and opponents that we have in life. There's 6. Physical adversity is an opponent. Mental adversity is an opponent. Emotional adversity, come on, ladies, y'all know what I'm talking about, is an opponent. Social adversity is an opponent. Spiritual adversity is an opponent. And boy, is this one an opponent. Financial adversity. This means adversity. It is like a nemesis, as I put in my description. It is a nemesis, an enemy, that its sole purpose is to battle and fight you fervently every step of the way. I hope y'all read my definition, because I wanted to make sure to put that on there. So this is our enemy. This is a thing that no matter what you do, unless you choose to just sit down. Now, if you sit down, you don't have any adversity. But if you live and breathe, you walk and talk, you go to work, you pay your bills, you have a life, or trying to build one, I need you to know that you have an opponent. And not just one opponent. There are 6 of them. That means where adversity operates at, where adversity will fight you at, where adversity will go hard at, and where adversity believes that it can win. See, adversity won't fight a fight unless it believes it can win. Adversity can't win if there is a fight that you've got and you fight hard, but adversity can just do a knockout if you don't tap in and decide to fight it. And every single one of us, whether you realize it or not, when you wake up in the morning and you hit the ground, you are facing adversity. You've chosen not to lay down. You've chosen not to submit. You've chosen to wake up and get after things and do things every single minute from the time you wake up. Think about how when you wake up, you're tired. You're battling adversity because adversity wants you to go back to sleep. When you decide to go in and put your cologne on, men, and get ready for the day, or ladies, you decide to do your hair and makeup and draw your eyebrows like me and put your fake eyelashes on like me, you decide that you are suiting up and you are going in the ring with adversity. You have decided to rage war and to fight the villain, adversity, physically by getting up and still getting after it. Mentally, by deciding that you're going to accomplish something in the day, which means you're fighting mental mindset adversity. Emotionally, how you feel about it. A lot of us will get up in the morning and we know we got to go and do things, but how do we feel about it? What is our emotions that we're carrying with us when we wake up? That's an opponent. Socially, how we engage people, how we receive people, how we talk to people, heck, even how we are with people. And then definitely when it comes to spiritually. Now, again, if you watched my launch episode, I ain't gonna touch that one because I know better. But what we're gonna do, instead of calling it spiritual, for the sake of what I'm bringing tonight, I've changed the word to your belief. How's that? You have an opponent every single day when it comes to your belief in what you believe in, what you choose to step into, and how hard, and what you're convicted to. Your belief, there is an opponent there. There is adversity. And then, boy, is this a big one, which is why I had to do Tuesday's show. It is a true financial adversity. Now, how many of you guys are out there right now that you know that you have a financial opponent? Now, it doesn't mean that you're broke and you're struggling, because I'm going to just tell you real quick, and I'm not going to go do Tuesday shows repeat tonight, that if you are not starting off your day thinking about other ways you can make other streams of income, so that if you lost your job, you've got a way to provide for yourself, you don't even realize there's an opponent. And I'm going to tell you, the opponent has already won. Because if you lost your job today, what would you do? There is a true financial opponent. Or you're not good with managing money. Woo, got a hole in my pocket, TA. There is an adversity. Or if you're not good with budgeting, if you're not investing, we've got an opponent. And if you don't have a future and a life set up, we got an opponent. And finances is one of the biggest adversities of all, besides our mental and emotional state. My initial thoughts, and again, I'm going to read this because I really want to do this well. And let me, again, I hear my daughter in my head. Please make sure if you're logged on with me, and I know we got people over here and people over here, that you right now, right there at the bottom, I need you to share this. Because this is now reported as the number one thing that keeps people from having the life they were truly destined, is one, adversity. And the thing that we talked about last week, the adversity, is based on their identity, which a lot of what I'm covering is what that over message is. Because when you know you're somebody, you don't just receive anything. When you know you can do something, you don't just do things halfway, you go all in. And when you know your word, then you know when you look at your life, what it should be telling you when you look in the mirror, what you should be seeing back, if that matches or not. See, this is all about self-worth. Everything I've been posting, if you can see, I'm talking to our belief about our worth and our value, because that's where adversity sets up. That's where he decides he's going to sit. And then adversity has like a tribe. This is their tribe: physical, mental, emotional, social, spiritual, financial. They've got an Avenger. Come on. Adversity's got his own adventure team. Woo, somebody's feeling me right now. So here's my initial thoughts. if we do not face adversity and learn how to rise to it, how to handle it, how to battle it, how to endure the fight and prevail, we won't be able to do several things. I'm going to go down this list. I'm reading my list tonight. We won't be able to grow. We will adjust. We will conform. We will submit. We will give up. We will make excuses, and we will stay comfortable. And here's the thing that I want you to know, where you think that's not a big deal, what you've chosen to do is to give the win and the victory to the adversary. See, you think that you're okay. No, you gave the win and the victory, which means you allowed adversity to win, which means, by the way, that adversity, when it wins, it doesn't just win in that moment. It wins in all areas of your life. See, adversity is not just coming for one thing. Adversity is coming for every single part of your life. It's just smart adversity. It'll start with one thing to see how you gonna do. See if you're gonna fight. And then what it'll continue to do is to go in every other area in your life, especially if you're not fighting, especially if you are adjusting, conforming, submitting, giving up, making excuses, and just saying, I'm comfortable. Adversity will go to every part of your life, and it will know that you will do nothing but let it win. Because what it takes to fight adversity is everything. It takes your whole air, your blood, your mindset, your posture, position, every single thing. But it knows if it can get you, like I said, in your physical body, it knows you ain't going nowhere. If it could get you in your mind and your mindset and what you focus on and limiting mindset and things that maybe even were taught to us in our own family or in our upbringing, that it knows that's what you're going to follow, and it can beat you because the winning mindset is over here. It will go to every part of your life. And boy, let me tell you, will it go to your finances? Come on. We're going to clean up your finances, and you're going to always be broke. And you're going to always be landsliding, or you're going to always be caught off guard and then being in a situation that you were never meant to be in. But what it takes to fight adversity, what it takes to stand up and say, I'm sorry, you're not winning today. Nah, like Rosa Parks, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna sit down. This is what it takes in every area of your life. And this is that place where a lot of us have got to get even comfortable with saying, nah. Some of us are so worried about what other people are going to think about us that we will submit to adversity when it comes to just not wanting to offend somebody. See, adversity's got a long list. It's not just the things I'm giving to you. It just knows where to start. It starts here. Now I can get into all these things. Come on, y'all. Woo. We won't be able to grow. We'll have then limited relationships and a limited life. We will even start to get this privilege attitude where we don't know how to work for things. We just expect things to come our way. And when it doesn't, we'll complain at it. And we'll point fingers at other people. We won't know how to face life. And when challenges happen, something even bigger than the pandemic, or when loss happens, or when change happens, we won't even know how to face life and endure it. We won't know how to stay independent. We'll become dependent. You know, the studies show, and go look at the numbers, how many of our youth are struggling to actually launch into adulthood. And the number one reason is because we have raised a generation that never had to battle adversity. Everything was given to them. Everything was just, here you go, baby. We can go all the way to even sports. Where do we get to the point that everybody gets a trophy? That means that those children being raised up as adults are going to think that just showing up should get me an award. When I'm going to tell you the life you're designed for, how you're supposed to be, your identity, because you're queens and kings. Let me tell you what, that's not how it rolls. But because of what we've been doing and what we've been allowing and not wanting to offend anybody or hurt anybody's feelings, we create a life that ain't even about fighting. You just got to show up. Now, I don't know about you, but that's not the life I was raised in. If I wanted it, I had to go work for it. And if I got my butt kicked, I better get back up and go back at it. That's adversity. But that is what's going to happen to where now we feel like it's owed to us, or we're not going to be able to face the challenges of life, even being on a job, and then having your boss call you in because you need to be corrected. People get all upset in that moment, they want to go quit their job. Why? Because of adversity. We then will try to turn to things, that will then allow us the coping mechanism, that we don't like the way that feels and it doesn't feel good and I don't want to feel this anymore, that a lot of people will turn to sloth, will turn to playing video games all day, real talk. We'll even turn to drugs and alcohol. And here's one we're going to go to later on. And even we'll get addicted to porn. This is where now I don't want to feel it. I don't like the way this feels. I just want to numb it. Because when you do not fight adversity, there is something that happens in you because of who you really are that is going to struggle with that answer. That's going to fight within you and not allow you to have peace. Because the person in you is like, we ain't doing this. But because of the fact that we want to sit down to adversity, we're now in conflict with our own self. Come on, somebody needs to hear me. Then what we'll do, because now we got conflict inside of ourselves, we become sour. And then we'll start to criticize others because we're not happy, but just because they're happy. Come on. We'll start to take things that they say or post and start to pick them apart and start to even hate people that are happy. I actually had somebody reach out to me when I posted something that I was celebrating that Quint did for me. It was my birthday, where he bought me flowers and chocolate and a Barbie, and Brianna and them had even got me all this stuff. And do you realize I had someone reach out to me and told me off on an instant messenger privately? No. 2 times, thank you, Lord. Not only on a post, get me straight, but also privately went and told me off because of where her marriage was at, because of where her life was at. She said, I don't think it's right for you to post about your joy and happiness when there's those of us out here who are not happy. Real deal, real story. And all I did was tell her that I'm sorry for the way that you feel and what is going on in your life, but I think it's important for me to celebrate mine so that other people know it's worth celebrating when it happens to them, or to even be an example. And I offered her a free coaching session, and let me tell you what, we sure did get on coaching. Because to me, that's what happens. When you're frustrated, when maybe things were happening in your life and you either didn't say anything or you didn't know how to fight or you didn't get help and now you're in a situation or you just don't know what to do. Adversity. It will start to harden your heart. And I'm going to say, you'll turn out and start being just an ugly person. Just going around, hating on everybody, having an issue with everybody, complaining about everything. It doesn't matter. You will then start to compromise some of the most beautiful things about you. Your integrity, your compassion, your ability to love, your ability to find goodness in other people, or to even find goodness and opportunity in any situation. And then we'll do things that now will start to compromise what we're willing to do versus what we were not willing to do. We'll do anything now. We don't care what we say. We don't care what we do. I don't care if nobody likes it. Do it anyway. Then we just get to a place where we just don't care. We're not thinking about what we're doing. We're not thinking about the ramifications, and we're not thinking about if people like it or not. And that, to me, is a big issue. When, lo and behold, if we would just learn how to fight adversity, and I'm going to go ahead and jump to something because, boy, I'm feeling it in my heart. Some of the reasons why we get there, and I said it earlier, I'm going to say it again, is because in situations where we need to speak up, we shut up. And because of those situations where we need to stand up, we sit down. In some of those situations, because we're going to be the only one, we're worried about being rejected, being casted out, not fitting in, being isolated, that we choose to say nothing when I'm going to tell you that if you got a fire, then it may mean that you're supposed to say something and not worry about who all gets upset, especially when it's about righteousness and truth, when it's about what needs to be said. We then just compromise our whole self. We focus more on what others now are not doing. And then we are no longer taking responsibility for our life. And then here's the one that breaks my heart. And then opportunities that we have, we're giving them away. Because those opportunities, let me tell you what, are there for people who are fighters. They're there for people who go get it. And I do believe that they're there for people with a good attitude and a good heart. I think people win all the time, but let me tell you something. We may see people rising to the top that are bad people, but let me tell you something. You keep looking, watch what happens. We then struggle. And then it's funny, I put this at the bottom, and I felt like it goes more up at the top. And then now we become this person who offends everybody. We become secluded. We're no longer a part of society. We resent everybody because we feel like they're the reason why. Then we feel forsaken and we feel abandoned. I hope you see where I'm going. And then because of all the things that we've done, we end up with such a big heaviness of weight that we can't even carry it anymore. That then it becomes too heavy that we do nothing. And our whole life that was light becomes dark. And that becomes our world, which is exactly what the adversary wants. The adversary wants every single part of your life in your light. He's coming for your whole entire world, your adversary. Adversity is no joke. Adversity, when we look at it, is the thing that will show up in your life. But it is the thing that I'm going to say that if we can embrace it and we can stand and we can fight, what it'll do for you, come on. What you'll mold to, who you'll become, what you'll have in your life. And that's exactly why adversity wants to hit you hard, because it knows if you make it through, what's on the other side. Our adversity plays dirty. Every single adversity isn't going to be fair. It isn't going to give you what would be easy. Come on, that was good. It isn't going to lay it out for you. Adversity means you got to step up and put the gloves on in order to be able to prevail. And for some of us, that's where we start to feel challenged at. Because we'll go take a look at everything else and try to go find something to throw at it, flip it, script it, change it, go around it. But adversity is something that we can only do one thing and go through it. Adversity attacks your beliefs, attacks your identity, attacks your views, how you talk, how you speak. I was telling my husband, I guarantee you there's people that don't like me because I'm loud. I ain't here for them. I'm here for those that don't have a problem with that. Adversity will challenge your whole entire being. You just being. Adversity will challenge your demeanor. It will attack you and make you responsible for how you make other people feel. It will start to make you responsible for other people. It will attack your life. It is coming for your willpower. It is coming for your mind and your ability to think and make decisions that you'll start struggling, even knowing what you want to do next or how to make sense of situations and how to make a decision. It is definitely coming for your peace where you'll be up late at night, can't sleep, can't eat, or you go into eating. And it is definitely coming adversity to challenge your whole entire future. It's here to rock and challenge your whole foundation. See, I know when you're listening to me, it's like, well, TA, well, dang. Okay, you make it sound like this is our life. It is our life. There is no way that you can get from here to there without facing gravity and adversity. Because why? You're choosing to make change. You're changing the day. You're changing the minute. You're getting up and doing something. And then for those who have goals and have desires, you're changing the future. Instead of you heading down this road, you're deciding to head down this way. And adversity doesn't want you to have a future. And what's happening and what I see, and my husband will tell you, it's around me so bad, I cannot even turn. This week, last week, it's been the biggest thing of all around me. And when you see people that you love or people that you know or people that you're coaching, and you see adversity win over and over and over and over and over, because of the one thing that you have to do is you got to tell adversity that you don't own me. This is my life, and you better sit down because I'm here to stay. if you can't do that, if you can't own the things, take responsibility, that you're passing it off or you're just ignoring it, it is always going to be the dictator of your life, your future, what even happens to your family and your kids. And then you'll be upset and you'll be struggling and you'll be sick and you'll be stressed and then you'll be depressed. And it won't be because of anything. And oh man, don't hate me, other than you. You know, I told everybody when I launched my show that one of the biggest lessons that I was taught was how to love myself and choose myself over everyone, including the three most important things in my life: my husband, my daughter, and Boogie sits above both of them. And how to not have guilt, shame, how to not have those things that people tell you, well, that's your husband, well, that's your daughter, that's not right. To get to a place where you literally get taught how to love yourself, how to value your self-worth, and to understand that your life means everything over even other people, especially, I'm going to touch on this for a second, when we've been told something different. You know, I love that piece, and I talked about it in my launch, where you lay your life down. Let me tell you what, every day. But when it comes to your life, when it comes to your value, there is nothing more important than your life and your value and your self-worth. And one of the biggest things that we've been doing is laying that down. One of the biggest things we've been doing is not knowing it and understanding it and fighting for it. You know, by you doing it, it changes the whole symmetric of your environment. It betters your relationships. It takes your relationships to the next level. Me and my daughter's got a relationship we've never had before, but it was only when I started to love myself and value myself. To understand that my identity isn't found in the world. It's found right here. And the more that I love myself, and I'm not talking about vanity, and I'm not talking about being egotistical, I'm talking about love, self-worth, that you value your own life, then everybody else sees you do that. What do you think is going to happen? They're going to value your life too. And it doesn't mean that they don't struggle, but as long as you uphold it, they don't have a choice. They're either going to value your life too or not at all. And this is just as in relationships. This comes to the life that we're leading, how we're leading it, what kind of life that we have. Because when you just know that something doesn't belong to you, you wage war against it. You don't lay down. You don't just submit and conform. You fight. There's something in you that's been given to you that truly knows who you are. And no matter what those results keep telling you from the doctor, no matter what that bank account keeps saying when you check it, no matter what your mind keeps telling you that you're not, there is something in you that rages war against it. That's the real you. And adversity knows that. And adversity is going to do everything that it can to get you to not know it, believe it, stand in it, walk in it, and go hard until you are wearing it. This is a true adversary that we have. Adversity. And then what happens if we don't fight adversity? We start becoming our own adversary. It's no longer about this out here. It starts to now make us our own enemy, to where we start to sabotage our life, sabotage our relationships, sabotage our future. We start to then struggle with now not just the opponent out here, but the one that starts to form in here. Fear starts to happen in here. Emotions that rip you apart, like it's sucking your air out of you. Anger starts to happen. You start having outbursts and start cussing people out left and right. Or you decide to just go in a hole and in a pit and don't come out. Jealousy starts to happen. Anxiety starts to happen. Fatigue starts to happen. Illnesses and health issues start to happen. Hunger and overeating starts to happen, or starving and not, or even going in the bathroom vomiting because you're worried now about your weight and how you look in your identity. Drinking and drugs, greed starts to happen. Beating down other people, bullying other people, verbal abuse. Being overly sensitive to where you're just sensitive to everything that people say. A selfishness that goes against other people. See, to me, to be about yourself isn't selfishness. That to me is because you're worth something and you are worth a value. And you've got one life and one body, you better take care of it. Now, when you do it to the detriment of other people, that's where I feel, if we're going to go spiritual, there's an issue with. This right here is about you. And then you'll start to have these anxiety about everything needs to be perfect or else you're not somebody or have worth and value. You'll start to have insecurities, and those vulnerabilities that you have that have never been secured, that have never been healed or tended to, will raise to the surface. You'll start to have resentment and shame, and every single pain you experience, all those folders will start to open up like doors. And then you will become someone who is no longer capable. The lie will now become out here and in here that you're not able, that you're disabled. And then the whole consumption of all of that will be the fear of doing nothing because there is no life at all to do something with. When you talk to people, because I have, that get to that place that we think, how can someone ever get there to want to take their life, and you truly have a conversation with them and you don't judge them, watch them almost tell you every single one of these. When you talk to homelessness people, and I have, watch what they tell you how they got there. When you talk to people on drugs or addicted to porn and you ask them, how did you get here? It's these things. When you have people that, and I'm going to say this with so much love and heart, that because of devastation, they needed help. But because of what happened in here and what's out here, they stay dependent on help. Or women that are in abusive relationships and don't think for 1 second there aren't men. I've had men that have reached out to me that are in abusive relationships with women, where I've been on the phone praying with them and talking with them. We get into those relationships. We submit our identity and our whole power and give it to somebody else, the adversary. And don't think for 1 second that the adversary does not know how to mold itself, adversity, into other figures. Come on. It will use anything and everything to, let me go back to that, to attack your physical, your mental, your emotional, your social, your belief versus spiritual, and your financial. It is here to rob you of your whole life by attacking even who you think you are, your identity. And again, as I said earlier, beware. Because the adversary, adversity, does not fight fair and does not fight alone. It's got a whole tribe. It brings everything when it's trying to win. And I'm going to tell you a few of its wrecking crews. I'm just going to name a few. Complacency, autonomy, limiting beliefs. Those sidekicks that they've got. You know, when I was sitting here, and in this note that I have, every single superhero, as I said in my line, has an adversary or adversaries. Superman has somebody that he fights, a different person, but boy, does he have an adversary. We know who it is, Lex Luthor. Come on. No matter what, that dude just won't die. Won't go away. He's always cooking up another way to take Superman down. Oh my God, he just wants Superman gone because of what he does, how he prevails, how he wins, how he has victory, what his life looks like, and what he stands for. The Hulk. The Hulk's adversary, y'all understand. The Hulk has an adversary because he wants to stay green and just go beat up everything. But Banner is the person. That's the identity. That is the true person. It ain't the Hulk. That's what happens when he loses what? Control. And when he does what? Becomes angry. He turns green. And all he does is smash things. He destroys things in his life. He can't even control his own emotions. He had that. The Green Arrow had a vengeful heart. That all he wanted to do was to cause havoc on people. He had so much anger in him that it ended up turning him into somebody that was totally opposite of a superhero. All he wanted was vengeance. I want to get back at what every single person has ever done to me. I got a list. Batman had a dark side, y'all. Come on, the Dark Knight, hello. He had to fight that 24/7. Come on. The Black Widow, need I say more? I ain't even got to go there. That's a whole nother episode, the Black Widow. And definitely when it came to Wonder Woman, because of what she was, just her whole being, Ares knew he needed to take her out because she was a weapon that could take him out. Let me say that again. Come on, somebody needs to hear that. Wonder Woman, just who she was. She was born special. She was born over it, not under it. She was the queen. She was all that. And Ares knew it. But once he knew it, he wanted to take her out because he knew that I almost said it, that she was a weapon that he could not fight and win. Woo, this is hard, Lord. Nothing could stand and fight Wonder Woman and win. There we go. Just regular words, Tracy. So now what I'm going to do, we're going to go into steps to fighting adversity in our adversary. Byron, if you won't pray for me. Woo! First of all, we got to get our mind right. We must, when we go into fights and we decide to battle and not sit down and not submit and not conform, is that everything worthwhile is going to be a challenge. There's a fight. And just you being who you are, you've got an adversary because you're born for greatness. You're born, as one of my dear friends, Josetta, says, you're born to rule. Come on. Overcoming adversity is necessary in order to step and move forward in life. Adversary is actually meant to grow you and elevate you to the next level. Adversary is the forging of your iron so that you prevail in every moment. Not a few. In every moment you have victory. In every situation. Adversity forges your iron, your strength. It is the necessary weapon to grow and solidify you and your identity. When you're strong and you go through things and you prevail, what kind of confidence do you have? Who do you think you are? What do you believe you can do? Anything. So when something shows its head, you have a different outlook and a different attitude, and you just say, well, I'll be right back. I'm going to go suit up. Come on. And you get after it. And you'll start to have a winning spirit and a mindset that you'll start to see adversity and say, well, there must be something here, or adversity, you wouldn't be here. So I'm going to go hard, because it means if you're standing here, there's something behind you and through you that I'm going to get, or you wouldn't be standing here in front of me and I wouldn't be battling you. There must be something here. Adversity builds endurance. You have to have endurance. You can't just have fight. You ever see a fighter who's a heavyweight? Let him have to go 10 rounds. His butt is tired. Come on. Woo, you got to have endurance. You've got to have endurance. And here's the thing I'm going to tell you how to get endurance. You ready? Fight more battles with an adversary. You want to build endurance is no different than you build endurance on your body when you work out. You get on a treadmill, you increase that intensity, and your butt goes hard. Over and over and over and over again, that before you know it, ain't nothing but a thing. You want to build endurance? Fight more. Build up your muscle. Build up your willpower. Make it strong. Remember, you don't use it, you lose it. Adversity is the component to build an endless fight, and here it is, to make you invincible, to make you indisputable, irrefutable. Come on. Where you'll have a 10-0 knockout record and nothing's been able to win. And it doesn't matter how long it takes to win. The bottom line, the victory is yours. That you'll just be winning all day long. So what are you doing? Winning. What'd you do this week? Won. What'd you do with that? Victory. That is the story for your life. That is your identity, who you are. You are victorious. You are not a loser. You're not meant to be under things. You're meant to face it and rise above it and control it, lead it, own it. Never to submit or conform to it. Never. Adversity keeps you from being dependent in situation, and it keeps you free to make your own decisions, to create your own life, and to be able to seize everything that's been written for you that belongs to you. That's what adversity does. And see, when we look at that adversity and change our perspective, there's nothing to fear. Let me say that again. You can't lose anything. You got everything to gain and nothing to lose but adversity. Be nice to lose that, right? Steps to fighting adversity freaked me out that my list almost matches Tony Robbins, about 90%. Number one, his number one, be prepared. To fight adversity and to win, you cannot be somebody who's never prepared, who's que sera, sera, hakuna matata. That you just think you could just go through life and do nothing, that you blow things off. My husband and my daughter think I'm like this all the time. Why? Because I know adversary is around all the time. And those things that we don't plan for, prepare for, that's where adversity shows up. Be prepared. Step back and allow adversity to teach you. Take the things in the fight with adversity and learn from them. Believe it or not, adversity is the best teacher. Not how to lose. That if you're adversity and you are really it and you rule in this area, that if I continue to fight, I'm going to learn how to win. So technically, I can use adversity to learn how to win. Make it a learning ground. Stop being a procrastinator. Adversity always gets you. That's where that prepared, don't procrastinate. Something you can do now, do it. Don't put it off for later. Don't do it. Because I'm telling you, a lot of us are going to forget. And then by the time we get to it, sometimes it's too late. And by the time that we're going to work on it, guess what? Adversity is already striked. Do what you can do today and do it. Be diligent about your work. Create tasks and accomplish them. Be someone who's a finisher, not a quitter. God, I hate to say that, but I got to say it. Be a finisher. That whatever you say you're going to do, you're going to do. You're known for finishing. Because let me tell you what happens. If people know that you finish, they trust you more, you have more opportunities. If they don't think you will, you'll be secluded. Opportunities go someplace else. Be a finisher. Stay disciplined. Stick to building things. Stick to moving forward. Stick to forward movement. Stick to accomplishing goals. Stick to creating the life that you want. Stick. Stick. That's it. Stick. Ooh, come on. Find always a way to move forward. I love John C. Maxwell says, a great leader of their life or a great leader of people always finds a way to win. Never accept defeat, ever. Never say, well, I guess that wasn't my victory. Oh my God, when people say that, I guess it wasn't meant for me. Oh my God, when people say that, I literally say, well, first of all, do you really want this? Well, yeah. Then to me, let's go after it. It's yours. You think it, you speak it, it belongs to you. I do not believe, I'm sorry, that just because it didn't happen, it wasn't meant for you. It may mean we need another strategy. It may mean that slanted to the left a little bit. It may mean that we need to do it, this way versus that way. But I believe that when you've got something burning inside of you, it is for you. I just believe that. And I have a hard time when I hear people say that. Find a way to move forward. Don't stop until you get it. Build your inner strength by one way. I'm going to say it. Find courage. Courage is the thing that you have to find first in order to face the adversary. We got to find courage. And I will tell you, and I'm going to be very transparent, sometimes courage, you got to borrow it. You may not have it, but you got to borrow courage. And courage, where do you borrow it from? From your belief. Come on. Woo! God, that was good. Where can I go courage in your belief, which is why you got to build up your beliefs. Your beliefs is the thing. When you're ready to tap out, it says, get your butt up. Come on. Your belief is the thing that when you're dragging and you can't go anymore, it'll finish the fight for you. Your belief is everything. Come on. Woo, getting hot now. Come on. That's it right there. Find courage at all costs. Develop a proactive and positive mindset. Fight that negativity. Fight that procrastination. Fight that negative thinking. Fight it at all costs. Eject it. Get rid of it. Climb up your own head. Rip off your hair and go and find it and rip it out. Always positive. Positive produces positive. Negative produces negative. You get that. That's all you get. Proactive and a positive mindset, and always look for opportunities. Develop not just a habit. Do me a favor, develop a life habit. This is how I do life. This is how I roll. This is how I do things. This is how I respond. Develop a life habit. This is how I do life. This is how I approach life. This is how I handle life. This is how I deal with life. A life habit. Develop principles that you do not compromise. Do not compromise principles that throw your peace out of whack and set your mind off. Those two things are crucial to your fight. Develop principles, write it, announce it to everybody. Send it in email, send it in a text. But make sure you send it to yourself, because guess what? They can't be compromised if you don't allow it. You're the one letting it happen. That's why I said at the beginning, knowing who you are and standing up for yourself and loving yourself is everything. Always challenge your perspective. Never be so your perspective is the only way. See, your perspective should always be evolving and growing. Woo! If it stays one way, boo-boo, baby, you're stuck. My perspective evolves all the time. My mindset and belief evolves all the time. It goes higher and higher, and the view when you go higher is a different view. So why would my perspective stay the same? Sometimes we're so anchored in our perspective that it's the thing that needs to elevate. It needs to change. Talked about that workout. Do the same thing over and over again. You're not going to get results. Have the same perspective over and over again. You're not going to grow. Always detach your personal emotions from any type of criticism, from any type of person coming in and giving their advice to you. Be careful. Can't tell you how everybody's touchy right now. Everybody's sensitive right now. Everybody's scrutinized what people says right now and do right now. We're so sensitive. We got to so work on that sensitive bone. We got to get a little thicker. We got to get a little harder. We got to get a little backbone and be stronger. Adversity. Believe in yourself. Take responsibility. Don't wallow on things. Assess it, correct it, and move on. Don't stay in the pit. Take responsibility, assess what happens, correct it, move on. We don't need to keep thinking about it. And anybody who keeps trying to bring you back to it, you need to say, look, dealt with it, corrected it, I'm moved on now. Maybe you can hold on to it, but I'm out. I'm out. Oh, man, and here we go. Last ones. Work on your weaknesses. Oh, this is where, think about it. You see the fighters when they're fighting in the ring. What does the coach tell the fighter once he's hit the fighter and he's hurt him? What does the coach tell the fighter? If he hit the rib, there's the coach telling the fighter, work on the ribs, work on the ribs. Any vulnerabilities that you have, if you're not working on those, if you're not making those stronger, if you're not putting bulletproof anchor around them, if you're not getting those things where they can take a hit, you will go down every single time. Why? Let me scroll back up. Because it's physical adversary, it's an emotional adversary, it's mental, social, spiritual, financial. It's going to deal with your mental and your emotions, and it'll take you out. Any vulnerabilities, any weaknesses, anything that you need to work on, I need you to work on it, because that will be the place that adversary will strike over and over and over and over and over again. Why? Because it knows it can knock your butt down. And it knows that if it keeps doing, eventually you're not going to give up, just like that fight. Throw in the towel. Throw in the towel. The fight is over. I'm going to go through these next ones really quick because they're subjects we're going to bring later. Elevate your peer group. We're going to so have a topic about that. Let me tell you what peer means to me. Your personal energy environment rating. That's what peer means to me. Your personal energy environment rating. What's the rating of your energy environment? Your peer group. That's what it means to me. You must assess that. And we're going to talk about that. Some of us, again, need to move, just like Zorro, move them out of the inner circle. Don't mean we move them out of our life. We got to sometimes look at some of the people and love them the way that they are, but know with what you're doing, they can't do this. Maybe it's too much for them. Maybe they can't handle it. Maybe because they've not grown in their life, they can't handle what you're doing, greatness in your life. Just gonna say that again, a whole nother topic. Own who you are, how you are, you think and you feel, but also own who you are not. Don't be scared of that. Don't be worried about people knowing that. So what if that's not you? It ain't me. Own it. Own everything about yourself, the good, bad, and the ugly. Say, yes, you're right. I need to work on that. Can't tell you how free you are. But when you're so busy trying to hide it or just show people what you think they want to see or what you want people to see, you are putting yourself in enslavement. You are allowing the adversity to get in, set in, and win, and the adversary is going to get a victory. Own everything about you. Set yourself free. Stay free. Stop locking yourself up. Don't be ashamed of who you are. Don't make excuses. Don't hide the truth. And like I said, those things you need to work on them. And do not make your life to where it pleases others. Make your life about pleasing you. I'll say that again. Stop making your life about pleasing others. Make your life about pleasing you. When you're happy, when you're doing you, everything then comes to you based on that. The person that's supposed to love you loves the real you. You're free to be you. It doesn't mean that, again, you don't work on, but you don't compromise yourself. You grow and work on yourself. And what you do is you work on things together to compromise, to do things and become one together. But your worth and your value, got to compromise that. Go watch that episode. We got a problem. So my question to you, because I'm always going to try to make sure I wrap up exactly in an hour. Podcast, or at least an hour is what I was told. What are you doing when adversity faces you? How are you showing up to adversity, or are you showing up at all? Are you tapping out and say, I ain't got time for that? Or because it's so overwhelming, you don't want to feel that, so you just choose to get rid of it, not do it, and you think that that's what you're supposed to do? How are you handling it? How are you fighting your adversary? And have you built up your muscles, your fight, your willpower? Or are you in the same place that you've been over and over and over and over and over again, where you can see a thread of your life doing the same thing, you doing the same thing, having the same thing over and over? Have you grown? Have you elevated? Have you produced the things that you truly have been working for? Do you know who you are? Do you stand in who you are? Are you living a life where you know it's the life that you are really supposed to live, where you can look at your life and say, this is my life? Say that again, where you can look at your life and say, yep, this is my life. I'm doing exactly what I want to do, doing exactly it the way that I want to do it. I am who I know I am, and my life reflects it. I didn't say the people in your life reflects it, because they got their own stuff. I'm saying what you do, how you operate. It is time to face adversity. Adversity has been put there deliberately to grow us, to mold us into who we are truly inside. We know it, we feel it. This is what grows it. When we avoid, when we shrivel up, when we go hide, seclude, or try to get around adversity, it is truly doing the detriment to ourselves. Because that is how we truly grow into the life that we want, we desire. And I'm going to keep saying it over and over, and the life that you were written for. And if you don't see that in your life, it's time to suit up. It's time to go to work, as the green arrow says. And it's time to learn how to fight. And fighting doesn't necessarily mean just swinging, because you may not be hitting anything. Sometimes fighting can just be you working on your weaknesses, learning, improving your skill sets, or there's things that you've not improved, and because you've not worked on your skill sets, you're only seeking these jobs here. But if you now would space the fire and now go learn how to grow your skill sets, now you can get a job that's worth this. And what would that additional money happen in your family? What would it do? Or are you going from friendships to friendships because you're pissing everybody off and now you're lonely? All of those things, take a look at your life. Because I'm just going to say this. I'm sick and tired of seeing people that I love, people who mean everything to me, watching the adversary and adversity kick their butt over and over and over and over and over again. Can I tell you what it does to me? It just, we are the word victory. Every part of our DNA is victory. We have within us the ability and the power to always win and prevail. We have within us, in our DNA, the ability to write our life and live it. We have the ability to change things by just merely what we believe and we speak it. We can manifest it. True deal. It's time to build that life. It's time to go hard. It's time to let the adversary know you're suiting up. Face whatever. Believe in you. Believe in victory. Believe you are victory, but believe that you are even more than victory. Got to go here again. Josetta, you were born to rule. I love you guys. There's so much content here. It's crazy. There's so many things we're going to dive into. That's what Thursday nights are for. It's the heart, it's hope, it's life, it's mindset, it's self-worth, it's value, it's our identity, it's our future. That's what, to me, Thursday nights are for. And that's really what you see me posting. I'm finding all these quotes. And that's all I'm going to keep posting, are things like that. Winning in life and winning you. I like those posts. And so do y'all. God, come on. So you guys have a wonderful weekend. Please share this. Everybody, man, everybody over here, I didn't get a chance to say and welcome everybody. God, there's so many people over here. So many people. Wow, so many people over here. Welcome to you guys. And I look forward to seeing you on Tuesday, you guys, for Suit Up. It is all about life, business, career, growth, investment, future, legacy, estate planning. That's all we're going to talk about. We have to talk about it because we are in a generation that is not being talked about and we're not teaching, and we got to go there. And then every time here, it's in the Bat Cave, you guys, where we suit up to go hard another week. I love you guys. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.